Pure cinema at one of sport's greatest theatres, and it sets us up for a potential blockbuster finish at the MCG. Sanjay Manjrekar joins us on ESPN Cricinfo Match Day 4 of the thwart Test. There's so many pieces that I want you to dissect. But before all of that, Test cricket, best cricket?
Yes, in many ways, reflection of life. Teams get a second chance. You see heroes become zeros. Yashasvi, Jaiswal dropping 3 catches, and largely unscripted, like life is not predictable. And a test match that goes into the 5th day is quite the test match now.
All the ebbs and flows of life as in Test cricket, because you had Australia at one stage 80 for 2, shortly thereafter 91 for 6, but at the end of the day 228 for 9, 46 overs batted by those last 4 wickets, about 18 by the last wicket. Seen the pendulum swing one way?
Yes, but you've got to admire how India have come back and still in the game with the kind of total that was put up by Australia in the first inning and the backlog that India had, reduced with Nitish, Kumar, Reddy and Washington Sundar. This is what you get when you have 2 strong teams playing together. One team makes a comeback. That doesn't mean the other team just gives up and accepts defeat. You saw Australia making a comeback. And the pitch has also allowed some of the lower order batters, when the ball gets a little soft, to survive. This is not like any Australian pitch on day 4 or 5. It will continue to be pretty good for batting, and hence draw could be a very, very viable option for India.
I want to resist the temptation to ask what India could have done differently, at least not until we first laud that Australian lower order batting effort. Starts with Pat Cummins, who now has twice in this test match thwarted India when they seem to be getting away with the momentum.
He's a very interesting player where, when he comes in, you get the feeling that he's not quite wanting to be behind the line of the ball and looks like somebody who's batting at, number 10 and 11. But amidst all that, he always has this sense of hitting the ball crisply. So he manages to block the good balls, but he's always scoring. He's not just hanging in there. And the nature of the man, when he's bowling, if there's nothing in the pitch, he's the bowler, he'll raise his hand and deliver. And same with batting as well. Just wants to give everything that he has for his team, and it's not the first time we've seen him do that.
Yeah, 2 partnerships which were vital for Australia. Quick word on Marnus Labuschagne as well. Had an element of fortune, but he needed to dig in there for Australia's effort. And
the best innings that we saw from him in the series. I know he's got a 70 before, there was another good score there, but it was battled right through. He has this kind of look where you feel that he's really working hard and doing everything possible to survive. But today was the best of Labuschagne that we've seen in the series, and there were a couple of great shots that he played. One was a cover drive of a good ball of Bumrah that went for 4, looked a picture, and then a straight drive again of Bumrah. So Labuschagne at his best in the series that we've seen.
Yeah, even after Labuschagne and then Cummins fell, India would have thought it's still well within range. But then Scott Boland and Nathan Lyon, they've batted together more than 26 overs in this test. In these close kind of games, these tend to be pivotal passages.
Yes, and you've got to admire a lot of these players, who are, I keep saying, this is not the only format. There are other formats, and we've gone down to 10 overs now. And in that, Nathan Lyon, who is a pure bowler, bats for 2 hours. Boland as well, for a number 11, I think he's got a very impressive defensive technique. And I dare say the best defensive technique I've seen in a number 11 batter. It's just these people, doing their very best. And when somebody applies their mind and, just defends for hours together, it's just so different from generally how the life is. Everyone, is living in a very fast-paced world, the sport also. And here we have this exceptional kind of trait.
The game was slipping away from Australia very quickly in that 3-4 over burst from Jasprit Bumrah. Let's now look at India's sense of disappointment at the last passage of this day. Any sense that there was a foot potentially off the pedal?
Not really. I thought Rohit Sharma did most things right. Clearly, he favors medium pacers. I would have liked to see Indian spinners bowl a little more. He backed Akash a lot. At one stage, he had in fact bowled more than Bumrah. So somewhere I think the captain in these conditions wants his fast bowlers to have more of the bowling. Akash should have contributed more with wickets. That would have really helped matters. I know there were some drop catches, but still it was mostly Bumrah led performance, and Rohit Sharma backed him. Mohammed Siraj put his hand up, and I guess in some way he must have realized the pressure was really on, and the good side that we see of Mohammed Siraj came into play. But Rohit Sharma, the way he handled Jasprit Bumrah, almost 9 spells to bowl his 24 or whatever overs, was I think good captaincy. I don't think India did too many things wrong.
Yeah, the part of the day where India were moving towards the ascendancy when they got Australia 91 for 6. You mentioned Siraj, him stepping up, crucial for him as well as for the team to have the support bowlers stepping up.
Yes, and sometimes you just need to do the simple thing. We try and find some kind of a reason as to why somebody is bowling better, why there's greater control, why the speed is up. The fact is, I think Siraj realized this has to be a do or die effort, and he just ran in harder. You could see there was more effort behind every ball. He's just a man who had been pushed against the wall and had to respond strongly, and he just put in more of an effort. And I'd like to see Akash do the same, because these guys can bowl quicker, but sometimes you get, mentally you're a little uncertain and you're not ready to express yourself. Siraj showed why he is still, he's got to be India's, in India's top 3 seam bowlers.
Saving the best for the last, Jasprit Bumrah. I also saved it for the last because oftentimes you now think, how much more can I get you to say about him? But I have thought of something else. One of the bigger fears in the lead up to the series and even during the series was about Bumrah potentially being bowled to the ground with the kind of workload he has. Those fears have been alleviated because he's bowled close to 53 overs in this test, which are, he's 2 balls short of the most he's ever bowled in a test match. And he's still delivering the gold he does.
Yeah, and fortunately he'll get some rest, and tomorrow, hopefully, with that second new ball, it'll take him just 1 over. Maybe he bowled so much that finally that old problem of no balls came to haunt him. And there was one particular moment where he was given the ball again, and Rohit Sharma wanted one last ditch effort of the day through Bumrah, and he sort of sat on his haunches and he said, I tried, but it's not really coming the way he wants it to. And I thought that was a great moment. What is there to be said? Finally, we've got something more to say about Bumrah, and this time it's got to be stats, where that average of 19 after 200 wickets. Sometimes we are sly, broadcasters. We have a cutoff of 100 to suit us and bring out somebody as the bowler with the best average. 200 is a pretty decent cutoff number, and to be better than Malcolm Marshall, Joel Garner, Curtly Ambrose is actually putting Bumrah's talent and his ability in really good perspective with data.
Yeah, the fact that that podium of the best averages for the 200 plus club was all West Indian, it's a day India can feel a different sense of pride in, because now there's an Indian right up top. Let's set up the final day then, because the way it swung and flowed, I know we've had this enough through this year where you've said I can't call anything, but what are the teams thinking? What is the frame of mind for both camps going into day 5?
You can see Australia are a little worried for 2 reasons. One is that they know India's batting is running deep, and the batters down the order can be as troublesome as the top order batters, namely Jadeja, Nitish, Kumar, Reddy. They are worried about Rishabh Pant, who has been quiet until now, could be the match winner. Plus the pitch. I mean, when we used to play at Melbourne, we didn't have drop-in pitches, and by day 4 and 5, it would be impossible to get 200 runs or 250. That's how the pitch would change. So the pitch has remained pretty decent, and those are the concerns why Australia haven't yet declared, and that puts the match in a proper perspective as well.
And as much as India may feel deflated by the 100 plus balls that Lyon and Boland have faced, the other side of it is if the number 10 and 11 are facing 100 plus balls, the wicket can only be that much difficult.
Yeah, especially when the ball is old. I mean, let's be fair, that partnership was possible because the ball was about 60, 70 overs old. So new ball, you've got to make sure that there isn't a massive collapse. 1 or 2 are okay, collateral damage. But if India can just hang in there, the other thing is the Australian fast bowlers also bowled a lot of overs in the first innings, 122 overs in total. And in the second inning, they would have liked their batters to bat longer, or would have expected a longer rest. That has not happened. So once that ball gets softer and they are into batters 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whether they'll still have that in them to produce the magic deliveries. Let's not forget, they don't have Bumrah. So those are the concerns that Australia have. Having said that, I'm not going to deceive the fans by saying that India will win this match or in a great position to win. Australia is still in a very good position, and you've got to say, remaining true to the conditions, the target, that Australia start as favourites.
All right. It's a year of Test cricket which began with a game which barely went past day one. 107 overs is all it had taken in South Africa for India to win. It ends with a day 5 finish, with which one of your friends from broadcasting would say we go into with all 4 results possible.